Hello everyone, my name is Anthony Dahl. I'm with IMAGINiT Technologies, and today I have a quick tip to show you how if you're an Inventor user and you start using Fusion 360, it's a little bit different, but hopefully with this tip it'll get you up and running a lot faster. One of the commands that I love the most in Inventor is the ability to use primitives, and in Fusion 360 we have the same functionality. Except for here, we're not starting out with a center point rectangle, but a typical 2-point rectangle. As you can see over in the palette, I can adjust the sizes, or I could simply go out and start dragging the arrows, the little glyphs, and push and pull it all around to wherever I want it. We have the ability to create a new body or a new component. I'm just going to create a new body here. And if I look back at the top view, you can see here that I am not symmetrical around my 0, 0. And if I go over and I try to edit the original sketch, again I can push and pull, but I can't seem to lock it into that 0, 0. I can eyeball it, I could get it close, but I want to be very precise with this. So to me that was a little confusing at first. So if I go back, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to convert that body into an actual component. Now when I convert it to an actual component, we can start using other commands inside of here, such as move and align, or simply start using joints to strategically locate him wherever we want this part to go. And here I'm going to use a rigid joint, because I want to lock it right into the 0, 0 from the center of this flat bottom face. So if I click the center of the face, I click on my 0, it locks it in, but what it does, it rotates it up around the axis. And if I go in, I try to rotate it back, it's simply just rotating it now along the z-axis, which is not what I want. So I'll keep my rigid joint, but I'm going to go back now and I'm going to use the move command. And now I'm going to move that component and rotate it around the x-axis 90 degrees and lock it in exactly where I want it. As you can see, it's still a rigid joint supplied to it, and we are good to go. Very doable, but just a couple extra steps you gotta think about. So I'm going to roll back my history here, and we're going to start out another way. If I create a brand new sketch, I'm going to go up and I want to say, you know what, I want to create a rectangle, but this time I have an option of creating a center point rectangle. And again, we know if I start a center point rectangle and I pick 0, 0, it'll be symmetrical all around. But let's start out with a typical 2-point rectangle. When I draw a rectangle this way, I can simply type in my values by pressing the Tab key. I can toggle back and forth. If I go up and I say let's go ahead and finish the sketch, or stop the sketch in Fusion 360. I'm going to simply do a push-pull to create a volume here. Over in my palette, as you can see, I have the options of typing in values over in my palette. I also have the ability of creating a new body or a new component. We're going to stick with the new body. But this time down in the history, you can see that I have a little glyph down there of the sketch. And when I edit him, I can go back in the sketch and adjust the values. One thing about Fusion 360 that I love is I can go up and actually select on geometry, like in this case endpoints and my 0, 0, and in my palette it'll actually simplify it and only show me the constraints that are applicable with the geometry that I selected. So to locate this right around 0, 0, I'm just going to drop in some points on the vertical and horizontal edge, and when I select them, again I'm going to go back and work out of my palette. And you can see here we have a horizontal and vertical constraint. So by selecting my points and then selecting my horizontal vertical, I can simply lock it in right around the 0, 0, which is what I would expect to do. Again, both of these options are very doable and workable, and from here, if we wanted to, we could always convert this over to a component of its own and do whatever manipulation we would need to do. So whichever method you choose, the key is to know how to go back and modify that feature, especially when you're in that inventor state of mind. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.